Let's talk about Devin Booker for a little while. Y'all know him. He doesn't really need an introduction. The man has been great pretty much since jump. Year two, he dropped 70 points in the loss to the Celtics, and he's been ascending ever since. He stayed on the Phoenix Suns. At first, he didn't have any help, so he was just out there putting up numbers for no reason. A lot of people wrote him off as an empty stat type of guy, right? Until he got Chris Paul and they got elevated to the first seed, went to the finals, couldn't close the deal. But since then, Devin Booker has been relevant and always been like a floor raiser for his team. At least, you know that if you have Booker on your squad, you'll make the playoffs at the very least. But Booker, for whatever reason, is one of those guys that I feel like every true hoop fan appreciates what he brings to the game, how smooth his game is, the handles, getting to his spots, how technical, smart, high IQ, smooth jumper, all that. We all respect that. But he seems to get a lot, and I mean a lot of hate, especially since 2, 3 years. Every time I see Booker and people bring up his name, he's to hate at this point. So he was on the JJ Redick podcast, and he kind of addressed the trash talking and why, in his opinion, he gets that much hate. So let's listen to what Devin Booker had to say about how he's being perceived, and then we're going to come back and react to it. But before I play the clip, please like the video and subscribe to the channel.
Agitator, competitor, 100%.
Yeah. So the shit talking is part of what makes you get in the mode,
For
get
sure.
in the mindset.
It's
It's not to agitate. It's like essentially it's a selfish thing. It's for you.
100%. Like I said, that's how I grew up though, and everything. I had an older brother. I have a dad that's the same exact way. So it's always been competition from NBA Live before NBA 2K. We were talking shit on there. So, but believe it or not, I usually don't start it. But all I need to do is hear like any little thing, and well,
That's what sick fucks do.
yeah,
That's what sick fucks
it's
do.
part of what we were talking about. The motivation of
You got to
Let's just get
constantly
after it.
look for it.
Yeah.
You got to look for it. Going back to the
So let's talk about it. Devin Booker is an interesting case because at first, although a lot of players came out and said Devin Booker was always trash talking, always going crazy, it would let you know about how he's busting your ass, right? At first, it seems that he didn't get any coverage, and then all of a sudden, I believe it was once he made the finals, it just been emphasized that Devin Booker was that guy. And then when the next year followed it up and he lost to Luka in the playoffs, then it was just an onslaught of all of the bad stories about Devin Booker that kind of came out at the same time, like it was a narrative to trying to kill this man's image. And don't get me wrong, I really like Devin Booker's game. I love him as a player. I think he's underrated at this point because you can make a great case that he's been the best shooting guard in the league for the past 3 years. I don't know that's a fact, but there is a case to be made for that. He's also added the playmaking to his elite scoring right now. So yeah, Devin Booker is up there, and I feel like he should be appreciated more. But the trash talking sometimes and some of the situation he finds himself attached with, we don't know him as a guy, obviously, but it's like, yeah, man, Devin Booker, I don't know about this one. It looks like you're just being sensitive, if not soft, about this situation. So I do understand why he can come off annoying at sometimes. Here's the part that I don't like about these perceptions, these narratives that people kind of run with or whatever. Devin Booker, let's just say that he was just a trash talker, agitator, shit starter pretty much in the NBA. It's like NBA fans kind of pick and choose when it's okay, when we want that and when we don't. And it's like we need to, as an NBA community, we need to pick a side. Do we actually want rivalries? Do we want shit talking? Do we want intensity on the court? Or do we want to quote Kwame Brown, the get along, go along gang or whatever, with everyone dapping up? We know they're friends. They just go out there to get the stats, and we just live with the results, no competition, no edge or whatever. Like we need to pick a side. Like every time I get on YouTube or I listen to a podcast, I feel like no matter who's making the content, people will be raving about the fact that back in the days, we have all those rivalries. It wasn't no friendliness on the court. There would be narratives. People would go at it, and that is just missing in this era. And this is why the game is ruined. That ever since LeBron James, everyone is friends. Now it's soft, etc. And then you have a guy with the talent of a Devin Booker that actually brings some controversy to the game, and not just with bumps. Go out there and trash talk down 20. Just like he said when he was bad on the Phoenix Suns, he'll trash talk guys like, Paul George, Luka Doncic. So guys that we actually want to be, we want to see them trash talk, etc. And that the NBA community is still unhappy about that. Like we need to pick a side. Plus, what also I dislike about the way Devin Booker is being treated by the fans and the media is the fact that with some of the players, for whatever reason, it's cool that they trash talk. Like, for example, since last year, since Anthony Edwards went out with Team USA and he really started performing, he really shined, showed leadership, etc., the narrative about Ant-Man was like, yeah, he got that dog in him. We love him because he's not scared of competition. We love him because he lets you know he's cooking you as a young guy, just like Devin Booker would do. And Anthony Edwards at this stage, I mean, that's not a shot. That's just a fact. He hasn't won anything. I'm not even saying that he's supposed to win anything because obviously he's young, he's still ascending. But that's the same with a Devin Booker. It's like, yeah, you haven't won anything. So why are you talking? But for one guy, it's cool. And for the other, it's not. And a lot of people will say, yeah, it's because Devin Booker is being held to and compared to Kobe. But if every time you hear, all the OGs, the Kevin Garnett's of the world, the Kendrick Perkins, hell, even the Stephen A. Smiths of the world, every time they bring up Anthony Edwards, it's like, oh, yeah, man, it reminds me of a young D. Wade. I see young Kobe. It's MJ's son, all that stuff. So why is it cool for Ant-Man to do it, but not for Devin Booker, And that's not a shot at Ant-Man. I'm just showing that, sometimes we just don't make sense. And we kind of pick and choose who we want to be a bad guy or not. So I feel like stuff like that is kind of nonsense and it needs to stop. I feel like players like Devin Booker are needed in this game because despite what I just said about people complaining about the lack of intensity, I do agree with that. So to have an all-star caliber player, a borderline superstar player, a guy that we know fit to be in the playoffs every time, having to back up his words in the playoffs, on the big stage, on TV, we want that. We need more trash talkers. We need more Devin Bookers, man. So I kind of embrace it, and I feel like it's a shame that we kind of go away from appreciating the greatness of some of these guys just because we get caught up in narratives like that. So Devin Booker just one out of many, in my opinion. And yeah, I think he needs more love. Or if you're gonna hate him, hate all the guys that do it. That's all I'm saying. So anyways, we're going to close the video right here. These are my thoughts. Appreciate you guys for checking it out. As always, please like the video. Please subscribe to the channel. And more importantly, let's get in that comment section and have that conversation. Why do you think Devin Booker gets more hate? Should, in your opinion, get more hate? And why some other players get a pass for pretty much acting the same on the court? It's been your boy, and I'll see you guys later. Peace.